High seas. Hawaii's space exploration analog and simulation is an analog habitat for human spaceflight to Mars. High seas is located in an isolated position on the slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano on the island of Hawaii. The area has Mars-like features and an elevation of approximately 8,200 feet, 2,500 meters, above sea level. The first high seas study was in 2013, and NASA's Human Research Program continues to fund and sponsor follow-up studies. The missions are of extended duration from 4 months to a year. The purpose of the detailed research studies is to determine what is required to keep a space flight crew happy and healthy during an extended mission to Mars and while living on Mars. Research into food, crew dynamics, behaviors, roles and performance, and other aspects of spaceflight and a mission on Mars itself is the primary focus. The high seas researchers also carry out studies on a variety of other topics as part of their daily activities. One thing under study by NASA is trying to understand crew dynamics such as morale, stress management, and how they solve problems as group missions. High Seas I. The first High Seas mission lasted for 4 months from mid-April to the 13th of August 2013 with culinary and psychological aspects. Many related aspects were also explored, including temperatures in artificial habitats. It was orchestrated primarily by NASA, University of Hawaii at Manoa, and Cornell University. The 2013 study included 8 people and ran for 120 days, 4 months. Members of the high seas crew went outside the habitat once a week in simulated spacesuits to explore the terrain and to perform geological and microbe detection studies. The focus of the study was on a diet which consisted of traditional space food, such as freeze-dried items, as well as various recipes made from a special list of ingredients. 6 scientists completed the study. Mission Commander Angelo Vermeulen with his colleagues recommended more spices and higher fiber foods as well as comfort foods. High Seas II. High Seas II with a crew of 6 people began the 28th of March 2014 and lasted 120 days, until the 25th of July 2014. The crew members were Casey Stedman, Commander, USA, Tiffany Swarmer, USA, Ron Williams, USA, Ann Carriaco, USA, Ross Lockwood, Canada, and Lucy Plua, France. High Seas III. High Seas III began on the 15th of October 2014, and included 6 crew members and 2 reserve crew members. Martha Lenio, Commander, Alan Mikhailov, Sophie Milam, Neil Scheibel-Hutt, Jocelyn Dunn, and Zach Wilson. Backup crew included Ed Fix and Michiel Castro. The mission ended on the 13th of June 2015. This was the first 8-month stay for a crew and the 3rd overall high seas mission. NASA used the study to examine and gain knowledge about crew size, isolation, and group communication and problem resolution dynamics. One question is ideal crew size. Unlike the previous mission, this one included a crew of 6 people, but for double the amount of time as the previous missions. This was as long as the previous 2 missions combined. The crew on HSIII performed 40 tasks a week for research studies. One of the experiments was on 3D printing. High Seas IV. High Seas IV began on the 29th of August 2015 and lasted for exactly 1 year. The crew members were Carmel Johnston, USA, Christiane Heinecker, Germany, Shayna Gifford, USA, Andre Stewart, USA, Cyprien Versu, France, and Tristan Balzinthwaite, USA. Backup crew included Oscar Matthews and Debbie Lee Wilkinson. The staff of High Seas IV included the following specialities: Commander, Physicist, Biologist, Doctor, engineer, architect, and journalist. The crew of 6 spent the whole year together on this mission, and one of the major tasks was simply getting along with another in isolation as well as resolving interpersonal conflict if it occurred. One of the challenges the crew had to overcome during the mission was an unplanned communications failure. During the mission, many aspects of a Mars mission were simulated. See Mars analog habitat, such as a communication delay time and isolation. Many aspects of a Mars mission were not simulated, such as the reduced gravity of Mars. They did live at a higher altitude, which would have slightly boosted radiation exposure from space radiation. The crew had 6 handheld cameras to record each day, and at least one crew member had a blog on the internet. The mission was also the subject of a film called Red Heaven. The mission ended on the 28th of August 2016, with the crew emerging to a crowd of news media and cameramen. This was the longest high seas yet, with the previous mission lasting 8 months, and before that 4 months. The next high seas. The project is planning 2 more high seas of 8-month mission length, one in 2017 and another in 2018. See also: colonization of Mars, manned mission to Mars, Mars society, Mars to stay, psychological and sociological effects of spaceflight, Skylab mutiny, ISS year-long mission, list of Mars analogs, references, external links, official website, HiSeas 2, https, Twitter.com, Casey_Stedman, status, 451,494,430,435,746,817, photo 1, http, www.theatlantic.com, Technology, Archive, 2014-04, Will Living on Mars Drive Us Crazy? 360,034.